So in the fourth question of this first exercise, we have been given a set of objects, and based on our observation, we'll have to draw the front view, the side view, and the top view of the given set of objects. So we'll take each of the objects one by one on the canvas and we'll draw these respective views based on our observation. Let us see the first object on the canvas. As we see, the object A is a military tent where already the three views, the top, the front and the side view, already marked. So we'll have to draw these respective views based on our observation. So if we see the object from the front side, we see that the front view is nothing but a triangle, which is this figure, and there is a line which is drawn from one of its vertices. Similarly, if we observe the object from its side, we'll observe this shape of the object from its side, and the object is seen to be like this, which represents a parallelogram. Again, if we observe the object from the top, we see that there are two sides, the two bends, and it looks like this if we see the object from the top. So these are the three respective views of this particular military tent. Let us now see the next object on the canvas. Now the next object is object B, which is a table, and we again see that all the three views are marked. So if we view the object, that is this table, from this side, that is the front side, we'll observe the two legs of the table, and if we observe the table from its side, we'll observe the view to be this, where we see there is a difference between the front side and the side view because the distance between the two legs differ. Similarly, if we view this table from the top end, we'll see that it will appear in the form of a rectangle, which is this view. So these are the three different views of this table as we see it from the three sides. Let us now move on to the next object of the question. So the next object of the question is object C, which is a nut, and again the three views are marked. So if we see the nut from the front end, we'll see that it appears as this shape because as it's symmetrical in shape and it represents a hexagon, so we see the three square faces of the nut. As we see it from the side, we'll observe that we'll get the same shape as we saw from the front end. Again, if we view the nut from the top end, we'll see a shape like this where the shape appears in the form of a concentric hexagon. So these are the three views of this particular object. Let us now move on to the next object of the question. So the next object, object D, is nothing but a hexagonal block, and these are the three views of the hexagonal block which are already marked. So based on our observation, if we view the block from the front side, we'll see a hexagon shape which is already given here. If we view the hexagonal block from its side, we'll see the lateral face of the block which is represented by a pair of parallelograms as we see here in this figure. Also, if we view the hexagonal block from the top, we'll again see that it appears to us the lateral face which is represented by a set of parallelograms. So these are the three different views which represents this hexagonal block, and let us now move on to the next object of the question. So object E of the question represents a dice with its top, front and side view already marked. As we see, if we observe the front side of the dice, we'll see that it represents a square face with three dots as we see here in the figure. Again, if we see the side view, we see a square face with one dot, and if we observe the top view of this dice, we'll again observe a square face with two dots. So these are the three different views of this dice. And now let us move on to the next object of the question. So the next object of the question is a solid where we see the top, the front and the side views are already marked, and based on our observation, if we view this solid from the front side, we'll see that it represents three squares. So these are the three faces which will be visible, and this representation of the solid will give us the front view. Similarly, if we view the object from its side, we'll again see three square faces, which are these three. One is hidden here, and this shape represents the side view of this object. Similarly, if we view the object from the top, so these three square faces, the top square faces of the three cubes will be visible, and this shape represents the three square faces and the representation of the solid from the top view. So these are the three views of the solid from these three angles, the front, the side and the top. So this is how we can visualize each of the solid from their different views, and we can draw their respective shape from the three views. And this is how we are going to answer the fourth question of this first exercise.
To learn more about how QMath can help you crack school and board exams, explore QMath Leap, a live online classroom program run by highly experienced and committed teachers.